start streaming. Go live on TikTok. There we go. Okay. We're live. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Give me just a second. Hello, hello, hello. We'll just close that. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we're good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to... why is there no sound in game? Just give me a moment. Okay. Right, for some reason, there's no sound. I did hear a sound when I pressed the button, though. I think what's happened there is, for some reason in the new update, the music doesn't loop anymore. Like when it gets to the end of the music, it just goes silent. But hopefully, once we load in, the sound will come back on. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Trucking Tuesday, but on a Thursday. We're playing the new Nordic Horizons DLC. That's the plan. The DLC hasn't actually dropped yet. It's releasing in about an hour. But I really wanted to do a first look at this DLC. I've never done a first look as early as this before, like on the exact day of release. So I'm very excited. That's what we're going to be trying to do today. So we're going to... Hold on. Let me just... Okay, there is definitely sound. The sound is definitely working again. So what we're going to do is we're going to just drive around for an hour or so on the existing Scandinavian region. And then, like I say, the DLC releases at 6 PM GMT, which is in about an hour's time. I am going to buy it live on stream. I'm not going to show you me buying it because I don't want you to see my card details. But I'm going to buy it on stream and we're going to play it for the very first time tonight in about an hour's time. Like I say, before we do that though, we are going to take a quick drive around the existing Scandinavian region. There's quite a lot of the southern areas of the Scandinavian countries from the Scandinavia DLC, but the new Nordic Horizons DLC, which is releasing today, is going to be adding in a lot of new territory in the north of Sweden, Norway, and Finland. So, very, very exciting. Finally caught us all stream again. Hi P, how you doing? One other thing I should probably mention before we start is you'll notice that things are looking a little bit different. Things are looking very different. I'm vertical now. My webcam's vertical now. So the reason for this is I've been rearranging my desk a little bit. And unfortunately, my webcam couldn't stay where I normally have it. So what I decided to do was, for now, temporarily, I've put my webcam sideways, so I'm vertical. It has the advantage that you can see my setup a lot better, but it's not going to stay like this forever. I'm actually planning on getting a second webcam at some point. Because I've mentioned before, I'd like to have 2 webcams so that I can have one on my face and one on my sim setup, rather than trying to get it all into one shot. So, like I say, for the time being, the webcam is going to be sideways like this, but I am going to look into getting a second webcam soon. It is Black Friday this week, so I might see if I can get another Logitech C920 on Amazon. As you may know, I've got a second webcam, but it's not compatible with my first webcam. I think with the software that I use, I have to have 2 webcams that are the same make, or at least the same brand, so they've got similar software on them. But yeah, for now, my webcam's sideways. You can see me a bit better. You can see the sim setup a bit better. So I think it's a good trade-off. Okay, we've got some questions. Sorry, I've been babbling, but we do have some questions already. Hi, Dagger, first of all. Ob says, have you got any cats? My 6-month-old went missing and I don't really know what to do. Oh. How long ago was this, Ob? Because cats can disappear for a few days, you know. I mean, currently I have 3 cats and they're all indoor cats. But I've had outdoor cats in the past. Sometimes they do wander for a couple of days. My cat Gizmo, who is a tuxedo cat, like the one we got on the dashboard here, he went missing for a week once. He just went out for a week and didn't come back. Sometimes they do stay out for a bit. I would say give it a couple more days. Maybe put some treats out, you know, unless you live in an area where the local wildlife is going to eat it. We get like hedgehogs and stuff eating any cat food that gets put out in the garden. But yeah, it's worth trying. Put a little bit of cat food out for them and see if they come back. Are you on the new DLC, says Scottish Modding. Not yet, Scottish Modding. The new DLC releases in 1 hour, or 55 minutes at this point. We are going to be playing it today. We are, as soon as it drops, we're downloading it, we're installing it, and we're going to be playing it on today's stream. That's why I've started so late. Because the DLC doesn't actually release until 6 PM. So that's why we're playing a little bit later today. But we'll see if we can take a quick job while we're waiting. Karlstad to Malmo, there's a good start. What's the new one, says Scott? It's the Nordic Horizons DLC, Scott. It's going to add in, if we just take a quick look at the map, it's going to add in 40 new cities in the north of Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Obviously, we got some of the southern cities from the Scandinavia DLC, but this one's going to add in a lot more in the north. It costs £15, I'm assuming. I don't know for definite, but usually the new DLCs cost £15 on release. And they're also going to be releasing at the exact same time a new forestry cargo pack, which will be about £4 or £5, which I'm also going to be buying. Obviously, Scandinavia, known for its logging, so makes sense that they'd release that new cargo DLC at the same time as well. We're going to be hopefully trying both of those later today. P says maybe leave out items that smell like you and check sheds/garages. That's also a very good shout, P. Yeah, if you take a look, if you've got anywhere in your garden that a cat could hide, like a shed or, you know, just under a bench or something like that, especially with the weather getting colder, if there's anywhere that they can hide, they will. So that's definitely worth checking out. Hey STFC, hope you're okay. ETS2 on Thursday is just a one-off. It is just a one-off, yes. It's so that we can play the new Nordic Horizons DLC, which is going to be releasing at 6 o'clock today. That's 6 o'clock GMT if you're watching from outside the UK, which it's currently 5:10, so 50 minutes to go. Okay, so we got off to a bit of a rough start, but we're in the game now, and we are going to pick up a wheel loader, I think it was, which we're going to be taking down to Malmo. I cannot see any traffic lights from where I am. There we go, I can see that one. I've seen they're making an upgrade to graphics, is that true? There was already a graphics update not too long ago, STFC. I don't know if they're working on another one, they might well be. But it's only been about a year or so since they last did a graphics update for Euro Truck. They have added in a lot of new stuff with the 1.57 update, which came out earlier this week. One thing that I'm really looking forward to is they've added in some animated cargo loading, which is, we might even get to see it here with the wheel loader. They've added in some animations so that you can actually see the cargo being loaded on to the truck, which I think is a pretty cool little feature. Hopefully we'll get to see that today. Do you have pedals under the desk? I do, P, yes. I've got brake and accelerate. No clutch pedal, unfortunately, but I am looking to get a clutch pedal at some point. What's in the new update today? So today they are releasing the Nordic Horizons DLC, which is going to add in 40 new cities in the north of Norway, Sweden and Finland. And they're also releasing a new forestry machinery DLC, which is going to add in some new cargo, logs, farming equipment, logging equipment, stuff like that. And we're going to be trying both of those out, hopefully, in about 45 minutes. And obviously, because we're now on 1.57, no Pro Mods. Pro Mods hasn't yet been updated to 1.57. I am still playing with the Steam Workshop mods. So if I look over there, we've still got our little cab cat. There he is. The Steam Workshop stuff tends to keep working when there's an update. But with stuff like Pro Mods, it takes a while for them to get an update out. Pro Mods has had an update, says Scottish Modding. Really? Already? How does that work with the Nordic Horizons DLC, though? Because as soon as the Nordic Horizons DLC comes out, there's going to be a lot of conflict there between the stuff that Pro Mods adds, right? So I imagine, like like you say, they may have put out an update for the new update. They may have put out an update for 1.57, but it won't. I wouldn't have thought it'll be compatible with the. I wouldn't have thought it'll be compatible with the new DLC just yet. Do I need to be facing the other way here? I think I might. It doesn't normally matter which way you're facing, though. Okay, maybe... Let's see what happens. Maybe there will be an animated load in here. Let's see. No, not here. Maybe later. Hi, Bertie Boys on Twitch. How you doing? But here's the wheel loader. We're going to take this down to Malmo. Apparently they made some graphics changes in 1.57. I'll have to look at the changelog, STFC. I don't really look too in-depth at the changelog when a new update comes out. Like I say, sometimes there is like major overhauls, like I think 1.5 was the last major graphics overhaul. But I don't normally read through like the change logs and stuff like that, so I don't know exactly what's improved in each update. Like I say, the only thing I know about 1.57 is the new animated cargo loading that they've added in for certain cargoes. How much is the new DLC? The Nordic Horizons will probably be £15. That's how much the map expansions normally cost on release. And the cargo pack will probably be £4.29. Again, that's how much the cargo packs normally cost on release. So for both, for the new map and the new cargo, it'll probably be £20. Thanks for the heart, me, Dre Dog. Morning, Paul. Hi, T. How are you doing? Hi, Ashbridge. Hi, Reese. How are you today? Ooh. Whoa, there's a red light. Whoa. I mean, I think technically we've run that, but oh, I can't go backwards either. Look, it's on a blind corner. It's on a blind corner. Okay. I didn't see it. Oh shit! I'm gonna cause a gridlock. Okay, it's green. It's green. Just get out of here, quick. Before you cause a scene, Saul. Might be a bit of an odd question, but was your old name Paul? No, my name has always been Saul. That is my birth name. That's what my parents called me when I was born. My dad's a Guns N' Roses fan, and the name Saul comes from Saul Hudson, aka Slash, the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses, which is a pretty cool person to be named after. So I decided to keep it when I came out. Evening, Saul. Hi, RH Rides. How you doing? The heart me is just the start. I saved up a few coins since your last live. Thank you so much, Trey Dog. That's very kind of you. I'm sorry I haven't been live very much this week, by the way. I have been really busy with my train sim project, which, as you know, I'm hoping to publish by the end of the year. I'm really, really close. The route is actually finished now. I've completely finished it. But there's still a couple of things that need to be done before I can publish it. I've got to make some scenarios, I've got to write a manual, and then obviously I've got to package up all the assets so that they can be published. But it's really, really close now. But that's the reason that I've missed a couple of streams this week. I don't like to do it, and I have tried to give TikTok as much attention as I can while I've been working on this train sim project as well. But we're getting really close to the end of the year, and I'm so close to finishing it, and I really, really want to try and get it published in the next couple of weeks. So I've just spent a lot of time this week focusing on that. Missed your live streams. I'm sorry, RH Rides. Don't worry, I'm back now. Hopefully for good. Well, for the rest of the year at least. We have, I think, 4 more weeks until I take my Christmas break. So, plenty of time for a few more streams. Yo, Harry on YouTube, how you doing? Can you do a Minecraft stream soon? I will be doing a Minecraft stream on Monday, RH Rides, don't worry. I've missed Minecraft, because I missed Minecraft last week as well, unfortunately, so it will have been 3 weeks by the time I play Minecraft again this Monday coming, which I do apologise for. Tom says, just wondering, why did you want to switch genders? Thank you for the question, Tom. I get this question quite a lot, believe it or not. And it's not really an easy question to answer without being super long-winded. But I do have a video about it if you're interested. If you check out my first pinned video, or it might be my second pinned video, one of those first 2 videos on my profile, I tell the story of how I realised that I was transgender. Like I say, it's a very big question to answer just on the fly, because it's a very long journey, you know. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's not a like spur of the moment thing or anything like that. But I've always felt I always felt quite a bit of discomfort with myself, just generally speaking. I've always had a lot of body image issues and a lot of, you know, identity issues, which persisted for a long time through my teenage years. And it's quite normal for teenagers to go through a phase of sort of not, you know, sort of hating themselves. That's normal teenage stuff, that's hormones. But I think when you get past your teenage years and you're still having those kind of feelings of something being wrong and you just can't quite put your finger on what it is, you just don't quite feel comfortable in your own skin, you know? That's when you start to think that there might be some deeper underlying cause, and that's when I started to really question if I might be transgender. And I think I came to the right conclusion, that I am indeed transgender. I'm a lot happier now. I'm a lot more comfortable. All those self-image issues and all those, you know, all those things I was self-conscious about, I don't feel that anymore. I feel so much happier and more confident in myself, and that's really what tells me that I was right You know, because sometimes people ask me as well, like, do you ever think maybe I'm not transgender? You know, do I ever sit there and think, have I made a mistake? And the answer to that is no. I not once have I ever felt that I've made a mistake. I'm so much happier. I'm so much more comfortable. I'm so much more confident now than I used to be, and that's how I know that I was right. You know, that's how I know that I definitely am transgender. But thank you for the question, Tom. What time are you streaming till today, says Daniel? Probably till 8, Daniel. I definitely want to spend a bit of time on the new DLC. So I'm planning on finishing at 8. Might be earlier. We'll see what happens. Christmas with family, or is it a quiet one this year, says Draydog? It's never a quiet Christmas in the Ashbridge family, Draydog. There's too many. I have too many family members for it to ever be quiet. There's so many people that I need to see, and so many presents that I've still got to buy. I've still barely done any of my Christmas shopping. Can you honk the horn, says Corbin? I can, Corbin. There you go. But yeah, Christmas Day, obviously Christmas morning I'm just going to be here at home with my brother. We'll spend some time with my mum on Christmas Day, and then on Boxing Day I'll be going through to see my dad and stepmum and, you know, my other brothers and sisters who live over there with them. But yeah, it's always a very busy time for me, Christmas, because I do have quite a big family. Obviously, I'm the eldest of 5. I've got my mum and dad. I've got my stepmum. You know, my dad has a partner, and and she's got 2 kids. My stepmum has a partner. So there's so many like extended family members as well. And I don't buy presents for every single person. I don't like buy presents for like really distant relatives, but even there has to be a cut-off point. You know, there has to be a point where I say, right, you are too distant to get a present. Okay, and you really do have to have a cut-off point when you've got so many people, when you've got such a big family. Some people don't make the cut. Some people just have to be like, you're a little bit too distant of a family member. You're not getting anything. But yeah, it's so it's going to be busy. It's going to be a busy time, as Christmas always is for me. Very busy. The only peace and quiet I'll get really is Christmas morning. The rest of the day and Boxing Day are going to be very busy, and then my sister's coming down in January with my nephew, and we're going to have a second Christmas for his benefit. So Christmas for me isn't going to end until mid-January. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my mic a little bit. What country is this game in? This is in all of Europe. Right now we're in... Where are we right now? Oh, we're in Sweden. And we're heading to Malmo. STFC says, I want to get back into ECS2, but I sold my rig, so I don't know if I'll enjoy it as much. I think it's still an enjoyable game, STFC, without a rig. I definitely think having the simulation gear makes it a lot more immersive. But you can, you know, it's equally as fun with a keyboard and mouse or with a controller, you know. Hello says, I'm going to Norway for Christmas with my child and wife. Nice one, Hello. Hope you have a great time. I've never been abroad for Christmas, because I don't really have any family that live abroad. We've always done Christmas at home in the UK. But if I was going to go abroad for Christmas, I think like Norway or Finland, a Scandinavian country, would be perfect for it. I don't know, they feel very Christmassy. Thank you for all the gifts again, by the way, Draydog. Thank you for the Fest Pops and the Heart Me's. Very, very much appreciated. Ooh, look at those planes. Ooh, I nearly hit that truck. Those are cool. I've not seen them before. Nice. Hello says, we don't have family over there, but a lot of the family don't get on with each other. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. So you're getting away from the Christmas drama in that case. Hello. I don't blame you. Mark Maurice says, I have a question. I don't know if I asked you before. Is it normal if a person loves a trans person? Of course it is. Of course it's normal to be into trans people. There is a point, there's a line between, you know, being into trans people just as you're into cis people and, you know, fetishization, which is a very real thing. There are definitely, you know, in the trans community we call them chasers. There are definitely people out there who kind of want to date trans people because it's almost taboo in a way, which is really disgusting if you think about it. I don't want someone to be in a relationship with me because they think it's like mysterious and you know, risque and inappropriate. There's nothing wrong with being attracted to trans people, just like you'd be attracted to anyone else, right? But like I say, there is a point. It can become fetishistic, and it definitely does in some cases. I can't tell you how many DMs I've had on TikTok from people who are clearly just middle-aged men who, you know, are attracted to the, you know, the taboo-ness of me being transgender, which again I think is really gross, but it happens, you know. Thanks for following, Gary Wheeler. Bertie Boys on Twitch says, if I'm attracted to a trans woman who I believe to be a woman, does that make me gay? No, being attracted to trans women isn't gay, because they're women, you know? I mean, being attracted to trans women would only make you gay if you yourself were a woman, right? Like, you know, trans women are women, being attracted to a woman is straight, if you're a man. And I think, you know, another thing for me is, I think a lot of people worry too much about whether it's straight or gay. Like, again, I'm not saying it is, but even if it were gay to be attracted to a trans woman, what does it matter? I've always thought, like, if you're attracted to someone, does it matter if they're a man or a woman? Does it matter if it makes you straight or gay? If you like someone, then you like someone, you know? I've never really... I'll never understand when people are like so hung up on, like, oh, this woman's really attractive, but she's transgender, does that make me gay? Like, who cares if it does or not? It doesn't, but who cares even if it did? Like, if you like someone... I think some people are just terrified of being perceived as gay. I think some people are afraid that people might think they're gay, and it's like, I don't get that. I mean, I understand, you know, the way that gay people are treated. You might not want people to think that you're gay, because then they might treat you that way. But yeah, I've just never understood. I wouldn't date you, says your nan got crusty nails. I mean, I wouldn't date you, so what does that matter? What relevance does that have to the discussion at all? Like, you personally wouldn't date me personally. Okay, what does that have to do with trans people in general? This is another thing that I get a lot. Whenever I you know, comment on trans people in general, there'll always be someone who comments like, well, I wouldn't date you. Well, I can, you know, I could tell you're a woman. I could tell you're a man in disguise. Like, okay, I don't care, because we're not talking about me specifically. We're talking about trans people as a whole, right? Your nan's... Okay, your nan got crusty nails says, you're not someone I would love and put my winky inside. Okay, again, doesn't matter, because we're not talking about me personally, are we? We're talking about trans people as a whole. And incidentally, I wouldn't want your winky anywhere near me. Your nan's got crusty nails. Because from your previous comments, it's not exactly a pleasurable size anyway, by the sounds of it. Anyway. He's just trolling, the name says it all, says Joshua. I know. When people are trolling, I like to lean into it. You know, I do get a laugh out of some of the troll comments sometimes, and I find it funnier to read them out and interact with them than to just ignore them. But yeah, I mean, he was clearly trying to get a rise out of me, you know, clearly trying to provoke a reaction. But I like to play along. Thanks for following Crawford1205, by the way. These names are crazy, said Bertie Boys. Yeah. Some people are very, shall we say, creative with their usernames. Thanks for following, Brianna. What game you playing? I thought about getting a sim rig. This is Euro Truck Simulator, Josh. We are currently waiting for the Nordic Horizons DLC, which is going to be releasing in about half an hour. I'm looking forward to playing that on stream. Why are you speeding, says Crawford? Good question, Crawford. I didn't realise I was. Technically, I'm not. 50, 52... You're allowed a 10% leeway before you get a ticket. So I think we're okay at 52. Oh, we're dozing? What? When? Since when? Okay, I knew we were tired. I didn't realise we were that tired. Okay, we need to get to a rest stop very quickly. There's one down here. I didn't realise we were in that desperate need of a sleep. Okay, we are going to have to do some speeding now then, if we want to get to this rest point before we fall asleep at the wheel. Brianna says, hey, I followed before, but Transfo's got me banned. I'm sorry about that, Brianna. It does happen, unfortunately. Whenever the stream gets quite busy, and sometimes quite a lot of trolls start to appear, sometimes, you know, friendly comments end up getting blocked in the crossfire, you know. Oh shit, now I've got a pop-up on my TV because it's going to go to sleep. Anyway, yeah, like I say, sometimes when it gets busy and I've got like 50 different commenters, you know, just spamming a load of shite, sometimes innocent people end up getting blocked in the process. Is this pro mods? It isn't, Crawford. No pro mods today. I have a racing sim. Can you tell me how to raise the seat up higher? Says Sparks Connor. In what context, Connor? Like a real seat or in an in-game seat? Are you at the computer or in a frame simulator? I'm at a computer. This is just a standard computer. This is just a standard swivel computer chair. Nothing fancy. How much did all the driving stuff cost, says Anonymous? About £400, Anonymous, for all the driving gear. Steering wheel and side panel were 230. The gear shifter here was 70. Handbrake 30, and the ignition key was £60 with the collector's edition of Farming Sim 25. The beacon light was a £5. That's from the collector's edition of Farming Sim 22. I have a frame and I want to raise the rest up like 5 inches, says Sparks Connor. I don't know how to do that, Sparks Connor. I've never had a sim frame before, so I honestly can't advise you really. I'm dozing again. We're very near the rest point now. Bonjour, Spooky Satan. How are you doing today? Can you do that thing so it reads the comments out, says Daniel. I'm not going to do that, Daniel. I've been asked a couple of times if I would implement text-to-speech comments. I'm not going to do it for a very simple reason, that it will be abused very, very quickly. I mean, you've seen some of the comments that I get on my live streams as it is. If those comments were being read out loud automatically, it would be absolute chaos. Unfortunately, it's the small minority of troll comments ruining it for everyone else. But yeah, there's no way at all that I'm going to have text-to-speech on my live streams, because it is going to be abused so fast. I mean, quite frankly, even allowing people to comment at all is so open to abuse. I get so many troll comments as it is, and short of just disabling the comments completely, there's not really anything that I can do about that. But yeah, I don't want to give them another avenue for the troll comments, really. I'm dozing again. Shit. Whoa. Okay, it's okay, because we're here at the rest point. Yeah, I did not realise that we needed to sleep that desperately. Oh, we can't sleep here? I like femboys, says Will. Good for you, Will. I'm not sure what that has to do with me, but good to know. Do it right. Why is it not letting me sleep? Do I have to be in a specific spot? Is there any force feedback? Not on this wheel, Spooky Satan. No force feedback, unfortunately. What's your opinion on them, says Will? On femboys? I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any strong feelings. Good for them. I believe anyone should be entitled to express themselves in any way that they see fit. I'm going to get some fuel while we're here, by the way. Maybe make text-to-speech for Patreon members only. That's not a bad idea, STFC. I could definitely see that working. I mean, Big Chunga says it wouldn't stop me, to be honest, but I really doubt that he's that dedicated to trolling that he's going to pay £1 a month for the pleasure. I mean, maybe he would. Maybe he would spend £1 just so that he could access the text-to-speech only chat for Patreon members. I don't know. I don't know how low he'd stoop. Hey Jensen, how are you doing today? Oh, we have to go out this way. It's one-way system. What time is it, by the way? It's 22. Okay. Nordic Horizons is releasing in 20 minutes. I'm going to have a quick look on the Steam page, just in case it's dropped a little bit earlier. Let's just take a quick look. Hey, Welshie. Hope you're well. I'm very well, Welshie. Thank you very much. How are you doing? Okay, it hasn't released yet, but it should be 20 minutes to go. Why can't you sleep there, says JG. Doesn't make sense. It's weird, yeah, you can only sleep in, like, a specific parking space. Like, all the other parking spaces won't activate the sleep icon, which is a bit of an annoyance. Okay, a couple of questions have come in. I'm going to try and keep on top of the chat. Was the last DLC the Greece one? Yes, the last official DLC was Greece. That was last year, I believe. Oh, is that a real plane that's been converted into a cafe? That's pretty cool, if so. I'll keep you updated for Nordic Horizons. Thanks, Crawford. It's on my Steam wishlist anyway, so I think I'll get a notification on my phone as soon as it releases. All good, thank you. Would rather be on a hot beach right now, but there we go. Oh, I feel that, Welshie. The cold weather, I'm already not enjoying it, and it's going to get a lot colder. You know, we aren't even in winter yet, technically. So I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not a big fan of the cold weather. But then again, I'm not a big fan of the hot weather either. I like spring. I think spring for me is just the right temperature. You know, it's not too warm, it's not too cold. Summer is a bit too hot. Winter's a bit too cold, but spring's the best season, in my opinion. What game, says Jensen? This is Euro Truck Simulator 2. Spooky Satan says, daft question, is there ever traffic jam or accident on the motorway? There are, Spooky Satan, yes. So you can turn accidents off. What I've done is I've got it set to... I've got it set so there's no diversions, so there will occasionally be accidents, and there might be a lane or two closed, but there'll never be an accident where the whole motorway's closed, just because I don't like taking huge detours. So there will occasionally be accidents and stuff like that, and there might be roadworks, and, you know, like I say, sometimes a lane will be closed, or there'll be a temporary speed limit, but there's never going to be an incident where the whole road is closed. You can have that if you want it, but I think in a game like this, it just leads to huge diversions, which are way too out of your way. Jax the Roy says, really don't know why I'm watching this when I'm going to be doing the real thing in a couple of hours. That's the beauty of it, though, Jax, right? The thing is, watching it is somehow such a different experience to playing it. To doing it in real life, you know, driving a truck in real life and watching someone drive a truck in a video game, they just hit different. I've been addicted... Ooh, a little bit of a freeze there. I've been addicted to Minecraft for like 2 weeks for some reason, says Jensen. It's the Minecraft phase, Jensen. It happens. It comes and goes. Oh, Julia on Twitch, how are you doing, Julia, says, I think this is one of the best simulation games, what do you say? Oh, look, there's an accident. There we go. Well, someone's been pulled over anyway. I don't know if I'd call Euro Truck my favourite sim game, because I'm also a very big fan of Train Sim and Farming Simulator, but I do love Euro Truck. It's definitely one of the best sims out there. I really do love this game. I'm doing very well, Julia, by the way. Thank you very much. I saw where do you download your mods from, if you have any, says Kieran. So currently I've only got mods from the Steam Workshop, like the cat there in the cab. That's from Fazl's Cab Cats. I've got a few things from the Steam Workshop. I do also use Pro Mods. I don't have Pro Mods installed right now, but it is one that I usually have, which obviously is available from promods.net. And then any other map mods, I usually get them from Trucky Mods, which is... Oh, there's another accident on that side of the road. Oh, damn. Okay. So we just seen 2 in a row. You were just asking, Jax... no, who was it? Spooky Satan. You were just asking about accidents, and we've just now witnessed 2 of them. Back to back. Sorry I've cursed you. Yeah, that unfortunately you have. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, any mods that aren't pro mods or on the Steam Workshop, I use a website called Trucky Mods. There's a lot of great map expansions on that website, and I do recommend it if you're looking for mods for Euro Truck. How much is this game on Steam, says Jacob? I think it's £15, Jacob. I don't know. It's been a long time since I bought this game. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I was checking the chat. I've been playing Simpsons Hit and Run today. Such a good game. Oh, it is, STFC. Love Simpsons Hit and Run. I played it not too long ago, actually, because I discovered that there's quite a big community around it these days. There's an emulator, there's an emulated version that's quite popular, and there's even a speedrunning community around it. Not that I'm a speedrunner, but yeah, a few months ago I tried playing Simpsons Hit and Run on PC. It's been such a long time because I obviously had it on the PS2 way back when, but very, very nostalgic. What a great game. What's the sphere thing on the steering wheel for, says Caden? Good question, Caden. It's for a bit more manoeuvrability. It's quite useful for tight corners and reversing manoeuvres in particular. You'll see I'll probably use it when we get into the yard here. But it lets you, like this, it lets you get a bit more control over the wheel with just one hand. Because if you've only got one hand on the wheel, like if you're using your gear shifter, for example, or if you're using any of the buttons on the side panel, you having like one hand on the side like this is a little bit less stable than having a hold on the wheel here, on the little ball here. So it's really useful for that. Like if you're switching temporarily to one hand, it helps to have a little bit more control over the wheel in that case. And like I say, it's very useful when you're in a yard or something and you're reversing or you're going around a tight corner, you know, you're shunting a trailer. It's quite handy for stuff like that too. Thanks for following, Caden. I do this for a living for 7,000 a month. Nice one, alright. I honestly, I couldn't do this for a job. Big respect to the truck drivers out there. It's you know, it's a demanding job, and I could never imagine. I don't think I'd be up to doing it in real life. But big respect to those who do. You know. Ooh. Okay, we came in a bit fast there, but we should be able to. Get this in all right. Oh no, I think we're at a bad angle there. Okay, we can still, yeah, we can still handle this. Ooh. Oh no, we're still a bit off. Are you planning on any more hiking videos, says Spooky Satan? Not till next year now. I won't be going to the Peak District again now until next spring. But I did go last week. If you haven't seen, well, 2 weeks ago, if you haven't seen my latest video, I did a Peak District video, which I posted last week. That was basically my last trip of the year, because, like I say, the weather's starting to turn now. It's going to be a while until it gets nice enough for that kind of thing again. So yeah, it probably won't be until next February or March until I do another Peak District video. But I've definitely got more planned for next year. I've definitely got a lot of walks that I want to do. I want to go to Frogger Edge. I want to go to Kinder Scout, which is the highest point in the Peak District. And there's quite a few other trails that I want to walk as well. So there definitely will be more coming, but it won't be for a while. Okay, we have 10 minutes before the Nordic Horizons DLC releases. We're very, very close. We don't have enough time, I don't think, to take on another drive. so we'll kind of just, you know, wander around for a few minutes while we wait. Unless there's a really short job. But I don't imagine there will be. There's... oh no, that's Stockholm to Stockholm. Is there a job from Malmo to Malmo? No. The shortest job is Malmo to Gedser. That might be a bit too long. Oh, thank you, Kieran Simi, for following on Twitch. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. How long would this one take, actually? We only have 10 minutes. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth risking, because as soon as it hits 6 o'clock, I'm going straight to the store page and buying the new DLC. Let's just have a little wander down to the repair place. Oh, also, by the way, you'll notice that the road network here, it's like only bits and pieces of it have been discovered. That's because with version 1.57, they also released an update to the Scandinavia DLC to coincide with the Nordic Horizons. So some of the map areas have changed a little bit. If you have driven the Nordic Horizons, if you've driven the Scandinavia area before, you'll notice there's a few changes to it. Do you have a real life job, says Tyler? Not right now, Tyler. No. I will admit, my most recent job was as a graphic designer in a print shop, doing promotional materials for local businesses, cards, posters, brochures, that kind of stuff. But I'm really looking for something more game design related. This is a real job, says Tom Douglas. It would be if I made any money from it. I make a little bit from gifts, which I very much appreciate. Everyone sending gifts today. And obviously I've got my Patreon supporters. But I definitely don't earn enough from this to earn a living. It would be really nice if I could. And, you know, maybe one day I might get big enough that I can, you know, live off of this. But certainly not at the minute. What do you do for work, says Kay? I mean, I literally just said, you might have only just joined the stream, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I currently am between jobs. My most recent job was a graphic designer in a print shop, but I am looking for something game design related. I have a degree in game design. How do the indicators work, says Spooky Satan? This stick here controls the indicators. It's actually designed for vehicle control, for front loader control in Farming Sim, but I have it mapped to my indicators in Euro Truck, which it works very well for, and it is self-resetting, obviously. But honestly, it's perfect for it. It's the perfect size and shape to use as an indicator. Obviously, it'd be a bit more perfect if it was on the steering column, but it's good enough. It is really cool, and it's a little, you know, adds a little bit more immersion than just having it be a button on the steering wheel. Rockstar Games, hurry up and make GTA 6, says Tom Douglas. Funny you should mention that, Tom Douglas, because actually I didn't even realise that Rockstar had a studio in Leeds, which is very close to me. I'm in Doncaster. I've just realised my in-game currency is in krona for some reason. Let me just change that over. But yeah, honestly, I didn't realise that Rockstar had a studio in Leeds. I thought that Rockstar North was based exclusively up in Scotland. But I recently discovered that they do have a studio in Leeds, and it could be an option. It could be worth inquiring. Okay, it'll be under gameplay, right? Would it be under gameplay? No. Interface? Ah, yeah, displayed currency. We want it in GBP. I don't know why it changed, because it's always been in GBP, but... Sean says, Rockstar North, the people who made the biggest game ever, are in Edinburgh, says Sean. That is true, Sean, but the studio in Leeds are working on GTA 6 as well. Which, again, I was shocked. I didn't realise that they had a studio in Leeds, and they are doing some work on GTA 6. You know, if I'd have known about that last year, I could have worked on GTA 6. I think it's probably a bit late now. They're kind of just doing the finishing touches on it. But it could be worth inquiring. You know, it would be a great place to work, because I've always been a big fan of Rockstar. I used to live in Leeds, but now in Goole near Donny. Nice one, Andy. I'm Doncaster, says Callum. Nice one. Me too, Callum. Where is everyone watching from today, by the way? It's we haven't done it for a while. Anyone, you know, let me know where you're watching from. I'm just talking because the new DLC is going to release in 4 minutes time, so I'm just waiting to finally be able to buy it. I'm in Chicago. Nice one, Jay. Hi over there in the States. It's been a while. We don't get many American viewers. Obviously, one of my Patreon supporters, Marika, who I don't know if she's here right now. Marika's from California, I believe. But yeah, we don't get too many American viewers, so it's nice to hear from you. Oxfordshire, says Draydog. Nice one. Pretty much Doncaster, says Tom. I think I remember, Tom, you mentioned before. Newcastle, says Rio. Nice one. Kieran on Twitch says Sheffield. Bradford says hello. Rotherham, Riley. Rotherham. I didn't realise you lived so close to me, Riley. Lovely. Scotland, says Sean. Southwest, says STFC. We got quite a mix then. Quite a mix. It's always surprising to hear how many people live, like, quite locally to me. Like, Warhammer Will says Barnsley. You know, I don't know. I don't know how TikTok's algorithm works, but I suspect that maybe people who live more local to you, you know, maybe my stream is more likely to appear on people's feeds if they live in, like, a certain radius of me or something like that. I don't know. I might be completely making that up. But I do notice that a lot of people who watch my streams do live fairly close, like Barnsley, Sheffield, you know, just Yorkshire in general. So I do wonder if that's a thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm completely making it up. Welsh, says Jax. Hi, Jax. You're not my only Welsh viewer. I've certainly got a few of those. You popped up because I love I love truck videos, so I'm guessing it's because of that. Probably, Jay. Probably. It's good to have you here, though. What is the DLC coming out? It is the Nordic Horizons DLC. It's coming out in 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. So I'm going to take one last look at the map before we quit the game. So all of this up here, once we get this new DLC downloaded, all of this new area, there'll be 40 new cities and plenty of new roads to be driven. Jack says we say Wales. Oh, I know, Jax. I know. My nephew's half Welsh. My sister's boyfriend is Welsh, and they live down in Wales. So whenever my nephew comes back to visit, it's always weird because he's 3 years old, and obviously you absorb accents very quickly at that age. So it's always interesting to hear he's got like a half Welsh, half Yorkshire accent. But it's really cute. Are you going to be farming tomorrow? I am, Creepy Jerkman. Yes, I will be live for Farming Sim tomorrow. I found your page when doing uni research. Love your content. Thank you. Hello. That's interesting to hear. Okay, I am now going to quit the game. There's less than a minute to go. Don't go away. I'll put some music on so that we're not just sat here in silence. And I guess I'll switch over to my big camera because it's going to be it'll take a few minutes for the DLC to actually download and install, so I'll try and just keep talking in the meantime. But let me just check that everything is where it should be. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm sideways. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch right now, I am completely sideways because my webcam is on its side today. The camera's way too tilted. I know, Flapjack, I'm sorry. It is the only way that I can get all of my sim gear and my face in one shot. Seriously, I'm quite restricted on space in this corner. There's nowhere else that I can position my webcam where you'd be able to see my whole setup. So I am aware that the camera is very tilted. Okay, it's 6 o'clock, by the way. It is 6 o'clock. The DLC should be releasing right now. Right this second. It's out! It's out, everybody. It has released. It's $14.99. I'm adding it straight to my cart. And I am also going to buy the new forestry equipment DLC. Oh, hold on. I didn't actually add the forestry DLC to my wish list, so I have to manually search for it. That has released. That is also £4.29 as expected. What's $14.99? This is the new DLC, Ross. I am buying it as we speak. The brand new Euro Truck DLC. Nordic Horizons. It has literally just released this minute. Forest Machinery. Okay, and Nordic Horizons. Okay, I am continuing to payment. So for both of them, for both the Forest Machinery and Nordic Horizons, is going to cost me a combined total of £19.28. Is that a PS1 I can see? It is indeed, hello. Yes, this is my PS1 here. I always have it on my desk, but I have moved it to a different position, so you can actually see it now. That's not why I moved it, but yeah, that is my PS1 there. Okay, I have purchased the new DLC. It is currently downloading. I don't know how long it's going to take to download. Obviously, I can't play the game while the new DLC is downloading, so I'm just going to keep talking for a few minutes. But this is it. We are about to dive into the brand new Nordic Horizons DLC, as well as the new Farm Machinery DLC. Very, very excited for both of them. Anybody else out there planning on getting this DLC? Let me know. This is the first time... This really is the first time I've ever been this early to a new release. Like when Farming Sim came out, when FS25 came out, I wanted to do a first look video on that. But then it ended up being a couple of days before I got a chance to stream it. This is the first time that I'm ever playing a new DLC, like the second that it releases. We're really... so it's exciting, it's exciting. Thank you for following, by the way, Sin, and your nan got crusty nails. Weren't you here earlier telling me about your tiny winky? That might sound strange if anyone doesn't have the context for that. Although, actually, it's not that strange. You'd be surprised by how many people join my live streams and then just start talking about genitals. Because apparently it's a safe space to do that. Okay, it's currently patching at 44%. So, maybe 5-10 minutes, we'll see. I'm aware, obviously, downloading something while I'm live is always going to be a little bit slower. I don't have the best internet in the world. But hopefully it won't take too long. I guess while we're sat here waiting, I'll do a quick Patreon shout-out. Because you can't actually see the Patreon board today with where my camera angle is. But thank you very much to everyone on Patreon: Kate, Jess, Riley, P, Charlie, Dan, Amy, Marika, and Aaron. Thank you very, very much. Much appreciated, everybody. If you want to support me on Patreon and get your name on this board, there's a link in my bio. You get access to behind-the-scenes content, and it only costs £1 a month, so you'll be chipping in a little bit of money to allow me to keep doing what I do here on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. So thanks again to Kate, Jess, Riley, P, Charlie, Dan, Amy, Marika, and Aaron for supporting me over on Patreon. And I'll shout you out again at the end of the stream, as always. But yeah, if you like what you see, if you enjoy watching not only my live streams but my videos as well, if you like the stuff that I make on TikTok and you want to chip in a little bit financially to allow me to make the stuff that I make, do please consider checking it out. Like I say, it only costs £1 a month, and you do get a few nice perks from it, like behind the scenes content and stuff like that. So thank you everyone for supporting me over there. Okay, we're at 65% now. Is the music getting boring and repetitive yet? I think it's played 4 times already. I'm not giving you money, says Jeffrey. That's okay, Jeffrey. It's completely optional. You don't have to. Thank you to everyone who does. Again, it's purely on a donational basis. You don't have to pay to watch the streams. Completely optional. And it's £1.20, so don't lie. It is about £1.20 after tax. That is true, Jeffrey. It's advertised as £1 on the website, but there is a little bit of tax on top of that. The point is, I get £1. £20 goes on tax. I get £1 of it. Although, Patreon also takes a cut as well, actually, which I think is like 5%. I don't want to sit here talking about money. Again, if you want to donate, feel free. You don't have to. Bro's trying to flex his PS1, says Jeffrey. Yes, I'm trying to flex my PS1. That's why I've placed it so far out of frame that you can only see the tiniest little corner of it right at the bottom of the screen. I've put that there to flex the fact that I have a PS1. Okay. Thanks for the fest pops, Jay. Very kind of you. We're at 87%, by the way, so nearly there. Okay, 92, nearly there. Happy Thanksgiving, says Izzy. Happy Thanksgiving. Is that today? I'm sorry for any Americans watching. I don't know when these things are, but happy Thanksgiving to any American viewers out there. It is, says Izzy. Nice one. Okay, 98% complete. We're very nearly done now. 99. 100%. Okay, Okay, I think the DLC is downloading... I think it's downloading the 2 DLCs separately, because it's gone back to 2% now. So we're a little bit longer. A little bit longer. This one's going up a lot quicker, though. It's already at 9, 10, 11, 13. Okay, yeah, it's not going to take too much longer, I promise. How many gigabytes is the new DLC? Let me just check STFC. It is 542 megabytes. So that's half a gig. I don't know if that's for the map or the forest machinery. I'm guessing that's for the map. Not too big. Not too big. Okay, it's at 81%. 88, 89, 90. Right, I'm going to switch back over to the game cam. Bodies T, says Manda. Thank you, Manda. That's so nice of you to say. I appreciate the compliment. Okay, it's installed. It's installed. Relaunching the game now. Here we go, everybody. New DLC looks great, especially the Northern Lights. Oh, I'm looking forward to those, Kieran. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to try and get a job that goes as far north as we possibly can. Okay. This is the moment of truth, everybody. Oh, 1 second. This first time on here, says Mr. Attitude. This is our first time playing the new DLC, yes. Someone's reported my live stream. Thank you. Fuck off. I don't know who did it, but great. Let me just restart real quick. Sorry, everybody. Okay, there we go. People are so weird, says Bertie Boys. Honestly, it pisses me off so much. And the thing is, like I've said before, when someone reports your live stream on TikTok, they just mute the live stream immediately. Like, they just restrict how many people can see it. It's very annoying. But welcome back, everybody. At least it happened. It happened at a very appropriate moment, because we're just about to dive back into the game. So, sorry, my voice is going a little bit as well. You got your Christmas decorations up? Says STFC. Not just yet, STFC. We always put ours up on the 3rd of December, which was my granddad's birthday. He died in 2021. But yeah, we always used to put it up. We always used to put them up on the 1st of December, first of the month. But then when my granddad died, like the first year after he died, we decided to put them up on his birthday instead, which is the 3rd. And it just kind of stuck. It just became a tradition ever since. The decorations always go up on the 3rd now. It's a nice way to remember him on his birthday, you know, because he was a very Christmassy person. He loved Christmas. Okay, we're back. We're back in. It only took 13 minutes to buy and install the new DLC. We're going to go as far north as we can. Let's go to Rovaniemi in Finland. And this is it. This is our first look at the Nordic Horizons DLC. Oh, there's an event going as well for the release. We're not going to do anything like that today. We'll just stick to some regular driving. But here we are. Did you get it? I did, Scottish Modding. We've just installed it. Please ignore the music stuttering. It's a thing that happens with the new update, I've noticed. It never happened before this latest update. But it's only on the loading screen. Hey, Lucas, how are you? Welcome back. It's not coming up on my phone for me to buy. Oh, that's strange, Scottish Modding. It is available on the desktop site already. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Oh, look at all these new places! Oh, wait! I've just realised that some of these cities are already unlocked because we've been to them in the Pro Mods mod. That's crazy. So even though we've not driven on any of the roads, like Lulay, for example, it says that we've been there already because it remembers that I went there when I had Pro Mods. That's really interesting. So technically, we have already visited the northernmost city on the map, Honningsvag, but we visited it on Pro Mods. We haven't visited it on the new DLC yet. That's really interesting. That's cool. So, does that mean that how does that work for the achievements, though? Like, because there's an achievement for, like, when you discover each city, so I'm not sure how that'll work when some of the cities are already registered as being discovered. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I should have realised before. We are way further north than we would have been able to go previously. So, wait, does that mean that we could actually go all the way up to Honningsvag? I want to have a look. Hi, Liam Ratcliffe. How are you? Thanks for following, by the way. We can go straight to Honningsvag. Look at that. The DLC has only been live for 13 minutes, and we are already at the northernmost city on the map. Because we went here already on the Pro Mods version. That's really weird. I've never seen that before. Okay, here we are. Oh, this is weird. Okay, so this is Honningsvag. This is the northernmost city on the map, which you can now visit with the new Nordic Horizons DLC. Let's see if there's any jobs about. Let's get straight into it. Isn't Eurotruck coming out on Xbox sometime? It is, yes. Next, I think Q3 2026 is when they're aiming to release. Okay, I'm not seeing any of the new cargo from the Forest Equipment DLC here. Let's have a quick look on the contracts page. Mulcher? Okay, let's sort by price per distance. Honningsvag to Ivalo. Let's do that one. Okay, first delivery in the new map. Oh shit, parking brakes on the wrong way. Someone's reported my stream again. Seriously, can TikTok actually do something about that? Because it's so fucking annoying. What do you mean? What for? Unoriginal or reproduced content. This DLC has only existed for 15 minutes. This DLC literally went live 15 minutes ago. How is this unoriginal or reproduced content? Whoever's reporting my live streams, fuck you, and TikTok, fuck you as well for having no investigation process for people reporting my live streams. Because this happens every single stream that I do recently. Literally every single stream I've done in the last 2 months, somebody has reported it. And because TikTok's fucking reporting system is so broken, you report someone's stream and TikTok just goes, okay, we'll restrict people's views on this stream. So fucking stupid. Did you get banned, says Harley? I didn't get banned, no. What happens when someone reports your stream is they restrict the viewership of it, so it won't appear on as many people's For You pages. And again, you can just report someone on TikTok for any reason whatsoever, and TikTok will just go, Yeah, okay. We'll restrict people's access to this live stream now. There's no investigation there. They don't actually look into the report and see if, you know, the report is valid. They just restrict your content immediately. And I know that because it happens to me every single live stream. It might even be the same person. I'm convinced there's just someone out there who every time I go live, they go, oh look, Saul's live again. I'll just go and report. There we go. Move on with my day. Because it literally happens every single live stream. You're definitely going to get banned now for swearing at TikTok, says Mr. Attitude. We'll see. But what would they report you for, says Harley? It's because I'm transgender, Harley. I mean, let's not mince words. It's because I'm transgender. It's because they join my live stream, they're like, oh look, there's a trans person, I don't like that, I'm going to report their live stream, and then TikTok will mute it. Again, I'm not going to pretend that that's not why it happens. Because it is. It's certainly not because I'm actually making unoriginal or reproduced content, because my content isn't unoriginal or reproduced. Sometimes I get reported for soliciting gifts, even though I've literally never asked anyone to send me a gift. So, you know this is how I know that the reports are bullshit. Anyway, let's get back to the game. This is supposed to be a happy stream. We're supposed to be enjoying the new DLC. And it's been tainted by that, but we'll try and get back to it. We'll try and enjoy it. I've got a PC bought for Christmas and a Logitech wheel so that I can start playing ETS2. Nice one, punters. As Kieran says, you will love it. It's such a great game. If you've got the money, get all the map DLCs as well. They are definitely worth it. And maybe a few of the cargo packs too. There's some really, really great content for this game. It would be good if it told you who reported you, says Hello. I mean, I understand why they don't tell you who it was, because obviously, you know, a nasty person could then go and report them back. You know, if I was a vindictive person, which I'm not, but if I was a vindictive person and it said, oh, this person reported your live stream, you could then just go and report them back. So I see why they keep it anonymous. And I think, obviously, I think that you should have the ability to report people's live streams, because some people do stuff on live that is report-worthy. But I just think there should be some investigation process. Like, they should at least look at the stream. There should at least be someone at TikTok who says, this live stream has been reported, let me go and watch the live stream for 30 seconds and see if the report is genuine. But there isn't. Because I'm convinced that there aren't actually any people who work at TikTok at all. I think the entire thing is just automated. There's the CEO, and then there's a computer, and the computer just controls everything. I mean, I'm fairly confident that there's no actual human involvement in the reporting process. It's entirely automated. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to concentrate on the game. I'm going to try and enjoy the game. Let's not let it sour the experience. We're here to play the new DLC, and we're here to have fun with it, even if no one's going to watch the stream now because it's been restricted. We're still here. We're still going to have some fun. What PC do you have, says Liam? I have a custom build from Bedrock Computers. I have an Intel i5 11400F processor, NVIDIA RTX 2070 GPU, that's 8GB, and 32 gigs RAM. And 5 terabytes of storage, which might sound like overkill, but I think with the size of games these days, games are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You really do need that space. A big problem that I had with my old PC is that I had so many games installed on it that sometimes I'd have to uninstall a game to make space for another game. Like, if I wanted to play a game that I hadn't played for a while, I'd have to be like, okay, let me just install this, let me just uninstall this other game to make space on my computer. So when I got this new one, I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm getting 5 terabytes of storage, that should be enough. And it has been so far. I've used about half of that space so far. Can you show the game? I can only see your face, says Harry on YouTube. Well, I know for a fact that that's not true, Harry, because I can see the stream preview on OBS. And I can see that the game is there. Ooh, look at that. Nice Volvo dump truck. How much have you spent on maps, ETS, on Euro Truck? Is it worth paying for mods off, like, Gumroad? I wouldn't pay for mods, punters. There's some great free mods out there. Pro mods, probably the most popular Euro Truck mod is Pro mods, and that is entirely free. I wouldn't pay for any mods, because there's so many great free ones. Map DLCs are definitely worth it. They cost £15 each. But you can get them on sale. They're normally about £13 on sale. And I'm not endorsing piracy. And I'm not endorsing key-selling websites like CD Keys, which you may or may not be able to buy DLC for this game on. I haven't, by the way. I have actually bought all of these DLCs directly from Steam at full price. Maybe that makes me a sucker, I don't know, but I have. Okay, well that was... I feel like that might have been my fault, but too late. But yeah, the map DLC is £15 each at regular retail price, and there's currently 10 of them, so that would be £150. Discounted, probably closer to 130, and again, if you bought them from other places, you might be able to get them a lot cheaper. But you got to remember, it's not all in one go. Unless you're buying the game for the first time in 2025, you know, you're not going to be buying all the map DLCs in one go. You, like, buy each one as it comes out. So it is 150 sounds like a lot to pay in one go, but 150 for multiple DLCs released over several years, you know, it sounds a lot more reasonable. And the cargo packs are worth getting as well. I think there's 5 different cargo packs. Those are only £4 each. But those are definitely worth getting too. There's a heavy cargo one, there's a farm machinery one, there's a brand new login machinery one that's just released, and there's a couple of other cargo packs which are definitely worth it. Kieran says, that's my current issue now. I need to delete files to install others. It's so annoying. Yeah, honestly, like I say, that's how I used to be on my old PC, Kieran, which is exactly why when I got this one, I deliberately got as much storage as I could. Like I say, games these days are bigger than ever, you know? I don't, not to go all, you know, back in my day, but when I was a kid, games were on little discs that contained like 8 megabytes of data. Games these days are hundreds of gigabytes, you know? You need a lot of storage space for modern games. Should I be in 6th gear here? I think I probably should, because we're on quite a steep hill. Let's keep it low. Okay, but now we're in the red. Looking good so far, by the way. Very, very beautiful, very picturesque. Obviously, we haven't seen too much of it, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Okay, I don't need to rest right now. Oh, he's turning. Oh, I'm in 6th. I'm in 9th. Okay. Bit of gearbox trouble. I may try and restart the stream on TikTok again. If everybody's okay with that. Because another weird thing about TikTok live streams is if your stream gets reported, you can just start the stream again, and like it'll be treated as an entirely new stream. So it is a potential way to circumvent a report of that nature. If everybody's okay with me doing that, I might just quickly restart the TikTok stream again. Okay, I'm going way too fast on these roads, by the way. The speed limit here is 37. There we go, that's much more relaxed. Oh, I discovered a new viewpoint. Oh, I've gone straight past it. I want to see the viewpoints on this one as well. I'm going to do a U-turn. I want to go back and see that. Oh, there's a barrier there. Okay, where's this viewpoint? Where is it? Oh, it's up there. Okay, so now I've got to U-turn again. Okay, fortunately there's a lay-by here. Where are you driving to, says number 1 PJ. We are currently driving to Ivalo, to Mjolnir Mining. Oh, I can see it on the map now, yeah. Okay, there's a viewpoint up there, but how do I get to it? Is there a road that I need to discover to get up there? Maybe that's what this is, actually. Yes, okay. Lovely. We discovered a new passage. I love the secret roads that you have to actually find yourself. Those are really cool. Although it's kind of obvious that it's here because there's a viewpoint here, and how else would you get to it? Okay. I am going to restart the TikTok stream again just one last attempt to get some more viewers. So I'll be back in a tick. And hopefully this time... There we go. And I'm going to check out the viewpoint. Look at this. Northern Secrets, 1 of 12. Okay, it is gorgeous. My first impressions, it does look beautiful. I'm a big fan of what I've seen so far. Guy sweeping there. Oh, there's a dog. Got a dog in the garden. Cool. Cute. I think there's a guy fishing down there as well. Yeah, there's some people fishing here. Happy Fisher, the boats have on them. Very nice. Ford Focus there. Campsite. Oh, there's another dog. Are these the first animals in the game? I don't think I've seen dogs before in Euro Truck. Are they new? Did you get reported against STFC? I did STFC, but I'm not going to speak about it because I have a feeling that like me speaking about it just makes people then do it again. So I'm going to say no more about reporting for the rest of the stream. God, I can't get out of third gear on this. This is a very steep hill. Now, there's a slight problem here because this tiny little slither of road there is not going to be discovered on my map now. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to U-turn and go back again. Just because I don't want there to be a tiny sliver of undiscovered roads. Oh shit, am I stuck? How? How am I stuck? Okay, forget that. We'll go this way. Where are you on the map? Says unknown. We are somewhere south of Honningsvalg, I think it's called. And we're heading to Ivalo. There we go. I just had to do that so that it was registered on the map as being a discovered area. Thanks for the Heartme Logs 187. Online or single player? Single player, Mr. Attitude. This is the brand new Nordic Horizons DLC. Just released today. Less than an hour ago. And I'm enjoying it so far. I like what I've seen. I'm looking forward to seeing more, of course. But my first impressions are good. Okay, I'm going to try and keep to a sensible speed as well, because I was speeding a little bit earlier. Let me just check on the map. Okay, yeah, there's Ivalo. Now, I did read somewhere in the patch notes that there's actually an underground mine that you can deliver to in Kiruna. We might try and check that out later. That would be really cool. By the sounds of what it says in the patch notes, there's a mine where you can actually enter underground to the delivery location. We'll check that out. We'll check that out in a bit. The DLC looks really good, to be fair, says Will. Yeah, from what I've seen so far, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. By the way, I like your fit. Thank you, Logs. Thank you very much. One of my favourites. I wear this one a lot. If you watch my live streams regularly, you'll notice me wearing this one quite often. It is one of my faves, and it's very warm as well. In this weather, it's very thick. It's very thick material, so it keeps me nice and toasty. How much, says Will? The DLC, the map, Nordic Horizons, was $14.99, and I also bought the new Forest Machinery DLC, which was $4.29. So just under £20 for both of them. How much was the driving rig, says Mr. Attitude? About £400, Mr. Attitude. The steering wheel and side panel were $230. The gear shifter was $70. Handbrake $30. Ignition lock $60. And the beacon light, £5. The beacon light, by the way, doesn't work for Euro Truck, unfortunately. Well, it does sometimes, but it's very temperamental. It's designed for farming sim. How much is the base game, says Will? About the same price. I think it's 15 quid. I can respect that. I have a unique dress sense too, says Logs. Yeah, when I first came out, I was a bit all over the place with my sense of style because I'd never worn women's clothes before, you know, and I was like, what style should I go for? What's going to suit me? There's certainly a lot of photos from my early transition that I look back on now and I'm like, what was I thinking wearing that? But you know, 5 years in, I think I've found my style. Occasionally I do wear stuff that's a little bit more out there, but I think I've settled in to my own fashion sense now. Hi Aspen, how are you doing? Welcome. Oh, the speed limit's gone up a little bit here. This does look gorgeous, though. This is really genuinely gorgeous. Look at the foliage, the density of the foliage as well. It doesn't look... It looks realistic. It doesn't look like trees have just been placed down in a game. You know, it does feel like a real forested area. Like I say, from what I've seen so far, it looks really good. It is very beautiful. I'm doing well, hope you're having fun. I am, Aspen, thank you very much. Glad to hear you're doing okay. Yes, we're just admiring the new Nordic Horizons DLC, which released today. Less than an hour ago, in fact. But it's good so far. It's good. Sorry, I got an itch on my leg. Ow! Now I've hit my hand on the control panel. Me and my partner play on ETS. Oh, I love ETS, Logs. I'm a big ETS fan. I mean, I'm a big fan of simulator games in general. Farming Sim, Euro Truck, Train Simulator. They're all really, really great games. Okay. I think I'm hearing some new sounds as well. I wonder if there were new... I wonder if they've done a sound overhaul in the latest update. I'm hearing a few sounds that I don't normally hear. Oh, one thing I do know, they've added in, I think, an adjustable Oh, what is it? They've added some new feature with the wheels. It's something to do with the axle lift mechanism. I'll have to check the patch notes. I really should check the patch notes, because I don't know exactly what's changed in the latest update, apart from the new DLC, obviously. But I'd be curious to see. I think I'm going to have to sleep here, by the way. We might see the Northern Lights. Oh, not yet. I guess we might be too far south. I think if we were still up in Honningsvag, we might have seen them. I think we might be too far south now to see the Northern Lights. That's a shame. Maybe when it gets dark, though, you never know. We could still see them. That would be really cool. Do you think you'd ever take up a job in trucking because you've put many hours into the game? No, Retro. It's not something that I'd like to do in real life. Again, big respect to the real truck drivers out there, because it's a thankless job. Definitely don't get the praise that they deserve. I just couldn't see myself doing it, though. Like I say, it's a thankless job. It's very demanding, long hours, and bizarrely everyone hates truck drivers, which I don't understand. I mean, I think a lot of it is just road rage. You know, when people get in their cars, they become different people. It changes them. But there's so much road rage towards truck drivers. I'm just like, do you not appreciate what they're actually doing? Do you not appreciate how vital that job is to our modern way of life, you know? Cut them a little bit of slack, right? I feel like people hate truck drivers unnecessarily. Can't wait for Farm Sim tomorrow, says Henry. Me too, Henry. Looking forward to it. We're going to be planting tomorrow. Hopefully, I want to get a full harvest done by the end of the year. So we're going to be planting tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get it harvested in a couple of weeks' time. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, we took that corner a bit fast. The speed limit here is 37, so I'm going to put the cruise control on. Never mind, it's just gone up to 50. I have that shifter, says Silly Seb. Nice one, Silly Seb. It's really good. It's a really great gear shifter. This is the Thrustmaster TH8S, if anyone's interested. It's £70, but it's a really, really good gear shifter. I do recommend it. Perfect for Euro Truck. I'm sure it's good for other games too, but I don't really use it in any other games. Ooh, burnout. Unfortunate. Oh, speed limit's 30 again. I should really be paying attention to the speed limit signs, like the actual signs on the road that tell me what the speed limit is, instead of just looking at the speed limit on my GPS. Thanks for following, Silly Seb. The problem is, though, the road signs are in kilometres, and obviously, being from the UK, I have my speedometer in miles per hour. So actually, looking at the road signs doesn't help that much. Bit of a risky place to overtake, but I'm going for it. I mean, I know that 80 is 50. 80 kilometers is 50 miles. Because one mile is 1.6 kilometers. So you divide by 1.6-ish. But again, it's a lot easier to just look at the dashboard, because it says on my GPS the speed limit in miles per hour. Isn't 100 kilometers about 60? Yeah, somewhere around there, Seb. Anyway, I've got cruise control on now, so that'll help. Oh, there's another campsite. There's a lot of campsites around. I guess Scandinavia is a very popular place for camping, though. A lot of wilderness. Okay, the roads are all getting quiet now. It's only 1:57. Oh, is that PM? Have I got my... Has my clock reset as well? Hang on. Because it reset my currency. I think it might have reset... Yeah, it's reset my clock as well. It's on Eastern European Standard Time. Why? Why has that changed? It should be on... it should be on GMT, which is what it's always been on. Where is it? Where is the clock? Where's the clock, everybody? Length, temperature... Or maybe it just shows the time in the region that you're in. But it should still be in... Oh, is it... Wait, no, hang on. Is it 2 AM? It's 2 AM. That's why it says 2 and not 14. I forgot that we're north of the Arctic Circle, so it's daylight even though it's 2 AM. Okay. I was a bit confused. Because I was seeing the clock and it says 2, and I was like, surely it should say 14 if it's 2 in the afternoon, but it's not. It's 2 in the morning. It is 2 AM right now. Hi Heathers, how you doing? I don't know if I could live north of the Arctic Circle. I don't think I could get used to the sun being up for basically 6 months. How's the spider, says Scott. He's very good, Scott. I've just fed him today. In fact, he's eating right now. I gave him a mealworm just before the stream. But he takes his time with his food. Savours it. I said update. Oh, you did. So you did. I don't know what was... for some reason, I read spider. I read that, and I think it's because people ask me how's the spider quite a lot. So I just saw how's the and filled in the blank. Okay, you didn't actually ask me about the spider. How's the update? The update's very good. From what I've seen so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the Nordic Horizons DLC. That's where we are right now. We're currently doing a delivery to Ivalo in Finland, so we are way, way up north. But yeah, it's looking very good. From what I've seen so far, I'm enjoying it. I wonder, actually. I've got a theory. I think I know what's happened. Options. Gameplay. Was that always on 50%? I don't know. It's messing with my head because it changed the currency from pounds to krona. And now I'm thinking, like, has it changed anything else? Have any of my other settings been changed? I don't know. But I've noticed there's been quite a lot of traffic accidents today, and I was thinking, you know, has it changed the setting that sets how common traffic accidents are? I don't know, but it doesn't look like it has. Okay, we're coming up to 7 o'clock, by the way. I think I'm going to keep going till 8. I think you'll get another hour out of me. I've got my headlights on. I keep saying that. I've got my headlights on. Yeah, they're on. Ivalo discovered. Lovely. Polar Explorer 16 out of 20, so it does count the cities that we visited in Pro Mods before we even owned this DLC. That's very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, there's something here. I see that. Nope. There's a camera icon, though. You can see there's a camera icon outside the map area. So there's got to be some way to get to that building. Evidently not that way, because there was an invisible barrier. But surely there must be some way to reach that. Maybe we'll come back to it. You got something loose upstairs, says SCFC Josh. Why'd you say that, Josh? You've only been here for like 2 minutes, so I don't know how you could possibly have enough information about me to form that opinion. Or maybe you're just saying it because I'm transgender. So you joined the stream, you saw that I was transgender, and you immediately made an assumption about me based on that. Is that the case? Thanks for following. I don't know what that username is, because it's just made of emojis, but thank you very much for following. I appreciate it. Your driving's abysmal, says Josh. That is true, but I've never made any claims to be a good driver. Someone just joined called Don't Look Back in Asda. That's a great username. I love that. Wrong side of the road, says Josh. We are in Finland, Josh. I know it's a bit confusing because I've got a right-hand drive truck, but I'm in a right-hand drive country as well. But I bought the truck in the UK. That's why. Is this ETS2? It is, Jake. This is not only ETS2, it's the brand new Nordic Horizons DLC, which just released an hour ago. This is our first look video, my first time playing it, and it is very good so far. I'm enjoying it. What's the game actually called? Once again, it's Euro Truck Simulator 2. So if I buy Euro Truck Sim and use my wheel, it'll be like this. Yep, if you've got a steering wheel, it will be plug and play for Euro Truck. Euro Truck is very, very good at handling peripherals, I've noticed. with a lot of other games, like with SnowRunner, for example, it takes forever to get a wheel set up. But with Euro Truck, you can plug any controller into Euro Truck and it'll just work. Like, literally anything. You could plug a flight sim stick into this game and you could drive the truck with a flight sim stick. It's so easy to set up controllers for this game, which I really, really appreciate. So if you've got a steering wheel, it will work for this game. I guarantee it. Is this modded or literally just bought and played? This is bought and played. It's the new DLC. You still have to set things up, says Aiden. You do still have to set the controls, like the buttons and stuff, which buttons do what. But it's still a lot easier than with something like SnowRunner. There's a lot of steering wheels that aren't supported by SnowRunner. But like I say, with Euro Truck, you join the game, you tell it which buttons you want to do which things, and that's it. You go. It's very, very easy to get set up. Are we... There we go. Has there been another Moser steering wheel situation again? No, Pappy Chuckle, no. It was just SCFC Josh was just asking about using a steering wheel for the game. Is the game on PlayStation? Not yet, Josh. It is releasing on PlayStation next year. They're aiming for September next year. But currently it's PC only. Thank you for following, by the way, Jake. Okay, so we're in Ivalo. Let me take a look at the world map. I want to go over to Kiruna because I want to check out the underground mine that apparently is over there. Follow to Vaxjo, that's very much the wrong direction. God, all these jobs are so long. Kiruna! Perfect! Okay, this is the next job we're going to take. That'll take us straight over to Kiruna, and we'll see if the new underground mine is real. Do you still have to pay for the new update? The new DLC is £15, but you don't have to pay for the update itself. Have you played Flight Sim? I haven't, Tom, no. I'm not interested in planes. I've never been interested in planes. Is SnowRunner any good, or is it a miss? It's a good game, Josh. I do enjoy SnowRunner. Like I say, if you're playing with a steering wheel, it's a bit harder to get it set up to work. But once you do, it's a very fun game. I really do recommend. The mud physics alone are worth it. They're so much fun. Does this have crossplay, says Pappy? It's only PC only at the minute, Pappy Chuckle, but I imagine when it does release on console, it will probably have crossplay. £109, I'm expecting it to be absolute perfection, says Josh. What's that? For Euro Truck? Oh, are you buying it with all the DLC as well? I do recommend, if you want to bite the bullet and go for that, I recommend. But if you just want the game with no DLC, it only costs about £15, so it's not, you know, you don't have to buy all the DLC. It's £80 for all, says Jamie. Oh. I mean, I haven't bought all the DLC in one go. I've, like, buy them individually as they release, so I don't know exactly how much I've spent on it, to be honest. There probably is bundle discounts, though. They're not really worth it, says Jamie. Well, I strongly disagree with that. I own all of the DLCs for Euro Truck Simulator, all the map DLCs for Euro Truck Simulator, and they're definitely worth it. This is the brand new Nordic Horizons DLC, which just released today, and it's very good so far. Can you use a wheel on SnowRunner? Yes, you can. Pappy Chuckle says Euro Truck Sim 2 Ultimate Edition is currently £45 on Steam sale. That's interesting, Pappy Chuckle. What do you get in that edition, then? How do I get the DLC, says Aiden. Just go to Steam and click DLC. Go to the store page for Euro Truck Simulator, and you'll see a link to the DLC, and it'll show you all of it. It's currently £13 on PS5. It's not on PS5 currently, Josh. You might be looking at a different game. Oh, do you mean SnowRunner? If it's only £13, get it. It's a good game. I do recommend it, genuinely. Have you tried the new dynamic load-in? Is it any good? Says Punters. We haven't tried it yet. We haven't found anywhere that it'll work yet. I know it works with logs. I don't, and it also works with pipes. I don't know what other cargoes it works with just yet. We've only done 2 deliveries today, but neither of them have been dynamic loading. It could be that it's because I'm using the low loader, maybe. Maybe in the next stream we can try using a different trailer and see if we can get some dynamic loading jobs, but so far no. Thanks for following, Aiden. Isle93. I want to start going live on TikTok. How do I begin? I mean, if you've got a webcam, that really all you need is a webcam. I mean, you don't even need that, really. If you want to stream on your phone, then you can do that as well. If you want to stream on PC, you will need a webcam. It really depends what kind of content you want to make, though. Like, if you want to do gaming live streams, like I do, then obviously you'll need TikTok Live Studio to be able to stream on TikTok. If you're doing it on your phone, you don't need any special software. You just need TikTok. To Kiruna. There we go. How's the new map? It's very good, Punters. Very good so far. I think the Ultimate Edition has all the DLC apart from Nordic Horizons. That would make sense, yeah, because obviously the Nordic Horizons is the brand new one. Definitely worth getting, then. If it's only £45 and you get all the map DLCs in one package, definitely worth getting. Oh, wait, did I... Yeah, I did accept the job offer. Good. Oh, we're gonna hit the wall. There we go. Yeah, no dynamic loading this time either. But we have got another wheel loader. This one's not a JCB. This is an unbranded one. The JCB ones are from a cargo pack, but the unbranded ones, I think, are just available in the base game. You'll never guess what's happened, everybody. Someone's reported my live stream again! Yay! Thank you. 3rd time today. Thank you, whoever keeps doing that. Thanks for the bubble gum as well, Aisha D. Very much appreciated. I know it's the same person. I know some sad little cunt is just sat there reporting my stream. Every single time I go live, the same person looks at their phone and goes, hehehe, time to report the live stream again. Because it happens, every stream, I'm not exaggerating, every single live stream I've done in the last 3 months has been reported. And I am pretty sure it's the same person every single time. What have I done this time? Unoriginal or reproduced content again this time. Again, despite the fact that I'm playing a DLC which literally has only existed for an hour. This DLC released today, an hour ago. But no, apparently this is still unoriginal or reproduced content, according to whoever reported the stream. So thank you very much once again, and thank you TikTok for your terrible reporting process. You're doing a new log hauling update, says it's Jag. Not at the minute, no. We're currently just delivering a wheel loader. We'll probably do logs next time, because I think the logs, the dynamic loading, is currently only available on logs and pipes. So in the next live stream, we'll probably give that a go. We'll get a log trailer. It's honestly ridiculous, says Punters. It is ridiculous. It is. If I didn't have as many followers on TikTok as I do, I would just stop streaming here. Like, genuinely. The only reason that I still stream on TikTok is because most of my followers are on TikTok. But honestly, if I had less followers on TikTok and more followers on YouTube or Twitch, I would just stop streaming on TikTok. To be quite honest, I love the community, I love the people who join my live streams, and I love the conversation and stuff like that. But TikTok itself, like, as a company and as a platform, it's so fucking terrible. It's just so badly organized. It's so obvious that there's no human involvement at all. It's just completely... like, everything's automated. The reporting process is automated. It just annoys me. It just annoys me. I would watch on YouTube much better. You can watch on YouTube, Pappy Chuckle, if you're interested. I am live on YouTube and Twitch right now. Like I say, I do still stream on those two platforms, but I have a much smaller following. I think I've got about 250 subscribers on YouTube and about 50 followers on Twitch. But you are welcome to watch on YouTube or Twitch if you'd prefer. Like I say, I think the thing is, most of my audience is on TikTok, so most people watch on TikTok, most people chat on TikTok, so that's where I tend to have the most, divert the most attention to. But I am on YouTube and Twitch as well. Do you only see the chat for TikTok? No, I see the chat for YouTube and Twitch as well. The reason I don't read out many comments from the YouTube and Twitch chat is because I don't get many comments on YouTube and Twitch. Like I say, very, very small viewership on those platforms. But again, if you really want to, you can go and watch the streams over there if you'd prefer. If SnowRunner isn't good, you get him build 1319, says SCFC Josh. I think you'll enjoy it, Josh. I really do. If you like driving games, if you like heavy-duty driving games, you'll like SnowRunner. Bertie Boys on Twitch says, I'm back, just nipped to the barbers. Nice one, Bertie Boys. How are you doing? Welcome back. We are now on the new DLC. We are officially on the Nordic Horizons DLC now. And we're currently driving from Ivalo to Kiruna. Put cruise control on, there we go. How's the new DLC? Any nice landscapes? Oh yeah, Bertie Boys. The scenery is absolutely beautiful. Definitely the high point so far is the scenery. Haven't seen too much of the cities yet. We've been mostly out in the country. But just absolutely gorgeous. We need fuel, by the way. I didn't realise we were so low, but there is a petrol station coming up, so... Punter says, I'm going to use my next 2 weeks' pay on my paper round to get a Euro truck. It's worth it. It's worth it. Oh, is that... There's another car broken down. There's definitely more broken down cars than usual. And like I say, I haven't changed any settings as far as I can tell. But there's definitely more accidents and, you know, traffic incidents than normal today. I indicated way too early for this turn, by the way. I thought there was a turn at the other end, but there was not. Okay, fill her up. Is there ever any potholes on this? The roads always look perfect. Unfortunately not, Pappy Chuckle, no. There are some mods that are quite good for that. There's a few modded map areas that you know, recreate stuff like potholes and that. And there are rougher roads, like there's dirt tracks and stuff like that, but there's like the paved roads in this game do tend to be very smooth and perfect, which sometimes is a bit immersion breaking, you know. Bertie Boy says, do you play any scary games like Resident Evil? I do have a series going on at the minute, Bertie Boys, called Horror Wednesday. And I'm currently playing Soma. But if you have any horror games that you'd like to suggest for the future, Resident Evil, for example, I will definitely bear it in mind. The last Resident Evil I played was Biohazard. And I know that there was Village. Has there been any more since Village? Punter says, if you have a 12 plus 2 gearbox, how would a 6-speed shifter work with it? I have a sequential gearbox. So, first of all, it's an 8-speed shifter. But what I've got is the 7th gear is used to switch between high and low range. So I've got gear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then if I want to go up to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I just shift into 7th first, if that makes sense. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then if I do that, then we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then obviously the bottom right is reverse. Village is the latest, but it's part 2 of Biohazard, basically, says Bertie Boys. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Like I say, I've not played Village. The latest one I played was Biohazard. Oh, Pappy Chuckle says, Resident Evil Requiem is out on the 27th of February 2026 for all platforms, and even the Switch 2 somehow. Okay, so there's a new Resident Evil game coming out soon. Right, you know what I'm thinking then? We could take a first look at that. Could be a future Horror Wednesday series. We'll see. I'm not making any promises. But, you know, any opportunity to play a brand new game, I will happily take it. I think it's always fun to try out a new game on stream. Like, as in a game that's actually brand new. Not just one that I've never played before. So yeah, maybe we will check out Resident Evil when it comes out. There's a couple of other games that I'm planning on playing. There's a couple of other new games that I'm planning on playing next year as well, by the way. I'm planning on playing GTA 6 when that releases. I am planning on playing Subnautica 2, which I don't know if that's been announced for release next year, or it might be 2027. But either way, we are going to play some of the original Subnautica on stream in the new year. And then when Subnautica 2 comes out, I'd like to play that as well. So yeah, there's a couple of new games coming out next year that I would like to play on stream. Thanks for following, Pappy Chuckle. Would you maybe play Forza Horizon 6 when it comes out? If I get a racing wheel, I would like to. I don't want to play any racing games with my current wheel, because it's not really designed for it. But if I can get a wheel that's more suitable for racing, I am planning on upgrading my wheel. I would be interested in trying some racing games. Subnautica 2 will be in early access when it comes out in 2026. Thank you, Pappy Chuckle. I will definitely sign up for early access. I'll definitely... I mean, I'm not bothered about it being buggy, you know, if it's in early access. I'm just very, very excited to play it, because I'm a big Subnautica fan. Back in my very short-lived Twitch days, I don't mean now, like... A few years ago, I tried streaming on Twitch. It didn't take off, but one of the games that I played a lot back then was Subnautica, and I've always wanted to play it here on this channel. And if you know where to look, you can actually find evidence of my past Twitch career floating around on the internet. I was on Twitch for like 3 months back in 2021, and I immediately just gave up on it. But you can find my old account if you know where to look. I'm not going to tell you where to look. What time will you be streaming till? I will be live until 8 o'clock tonight. Whoa! I thought I was going to hit that lamppost then. I still need to complete Below Zero, says Pappy Chuckle. Me too, Pappy Chuckle. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy Below Zero that much, so I never got round to finishing it. It's not bad, but I don't know, it just doesn't quite live up to Subnautica, you know. Where do I look for that? Where do I look for that? Says Bertie Boys. I'd love to see it. I can't tell you that, Bertie Boys. I'm sorry. Well, I guess there's no harm in it. I had a channel called Elsilon, spelled E-L-S-I-L-O-N. Like the Greek letter epsilon, but with an L instead of a P. That's the name that I used back then, and I also used a voice modulator back then. This was very early in my transition, and I wasn't really comfortable with the fact that I had a deeper voice. So I used a free voice modulator, and it sounded terrible. It was awful. That was orange when I passed it. I'm fighting that ticket. But yeah, I was using a voice modulator back then, so my voice sounds really obviously pitch shifted. Eventually I came to terms with the sound of my voice, and, you know, I'm still not a big fan of how I sound, but I'm comfortable enough that I don't use a voice modulator anymore, put it that way. But yeah, if you just search Elsilon, it might have been Elsilon Red, actually. You will find, if you search it on TikTok specifically, you'll find some stream highlights that I posted way back when. Evening, buddy. Late one, says Charlie. It is, Charlie. We're trying out the new Nordic Horizons DLC. I could have gone before that ambulance. Okay, I am going before that ambulance. Move. I hit the ambulance. Whoops. Yeah, we're trying out the new Nordic Horizons DLC. It just released earlier today. So this is our first look at it. We're probably going to be live until 8 o'clock tonight. We're making good progress on this job, by the way. 4 hours and 50 minutes left. I don't think we'll take on another job, though. I think we'll call it here for today. So we might finish a little bit early. But only like 10 minutes, I imagine. I found it, you look so cute. Thank you, Bertie boys, thank you. Very fresh-faced back then. I was only 21, I think. I've visibly aged quite a lot in like the last 2 years. Coincidentally, around the time that I started doing TikTok. So it may be stress related. But yeah, I was very fresh-faced just a couple of years ago. And look at me now. All old and wrinkly. Well, maybe not wrinkly just yet, but I don't know. I don't get ID'd as much anymore. Let's put it that way. I don't get ID'd when I'm buying drink as much as I used to. I miss it. Would you ever play Cry of Fear for a horror stream? Maybe, Pappy Chuckle. There's quite a lot of horror games that I've not played. Quite a lot of big horror games that I've never played. So any recommendations, like I say, are more than welcome. I can't promise that I'll definitely play them, but you know, if there's anything you want to suggest for me to play, I'll definitely consider it. Still beautiful. Thank you, Bertie boys. Liam on YouTube says, just thought I'll go on YouTube so I can see the game bigger. What are these comments from Harry? Ignore them, STFC. I have been. That's another thing about the TikTok stream, about the YouTube stream. There's almost always just one person who just spams for the entire stream. And today it's Harry. The atmosphere on the YouTube comment section is definitely not quite as pleasant as the atmosphere on the TikTok comment section. And that's saying something, because the TikTok comments aren't always the most pleasant either. Have a nice evening. Thank you, Charlie. But yeah, at least the TikTok stream, even when the comments are negative on TikTok, it's still a fun stream, you know? I get a lot of pleasure out of it. On YouTube, the comments are just kind of boring and repetitive. It's like I say, it's normally just the same person just spams the same thing 100 times and tries to provoke a reaction. The TikTok comments are always more fun, even when they're negative. I think we may need to sleep soon. Sverige. Norbottensland. Pajala. Are we still in... Have we just crossed into Sweden? Where is the border? We have. That was the Swedish border. The river was the Swedish border. I see. I don't remember when we actually crossed into Finland, because we didn't start... No, we didn't start in Finland. We started in Norway. It was actually about here where we crossed into Finland. I didn't notice at all. Whoop. I'm going to get a car booked in for a valet this weekend. Pay my mum off £30, then save for 2 weeks to get the big pack. Nice one, punters. Nice one. You will enjoy it. Make sure, like Pappy Chuckle says, make sure you buy it before the 11th of December, when the sale ends. The thing about Euro Truck, though, is it's almost always on sale. Like, if it ever goes off sale, just wait for a month and it'll be on sale again. It is always on sale, genuinely. We are going to have to rest again in an hour and a half. Oh, are we going to have enough time to actually finish the job? How long? I don't know how much time actually passes when you sleep. I think it's 8 hours. Can I sleep here, or is it just a petrol station? Just petrol. I can't sleep here. Oh, there's a place that I can sleep a little bit further up. Fair enough. Okay, so there should be a lay-by coming up quite soon where we can sleep. Woo. Eyes on the road, Sol. Yep, I see it. I see it. Woo, coming in a bit fast. I can't drive IRL, and trying this game with a gear stick confused me more than it should, so I just use automatic. Fair enough, Bertie boys. It took me a while to get used to the gear shifter, because I don't drive in real life either. I've never driven before in my life. But once you get used to it, it is a lot more immersive, I think. And I know that it's a bit unrealistic, because a lot of modern trucks are automatic, and in fact this truck I'm driving right now is automatic. But I have so much fun driving manual, honestly. It just makes it feel a lot more like you're in an actual truck, you know? Because there's so many like physical buttons around you and stuff like that. That's what I love about having sim gear. Is that the more sim gear you have, the more it feels like you really are there in the cab of a truck. Oh god, very poor visibility right now. But yeah, compared to like a keyboard and mouse, don't get me wrong, you can play this game with a keyboard and mouse, but when I play this game with a keyboard and mouse, it feels like I'm playing a game with a keyboard and mouse. When I play it with a steering wheel, it feels like I'm driving a truck. You know what I mean? It just adds so much more immersion to the experience. More realistic and a good way to learn as well. I'm going to try again. You should, Bertie boys, you should. I've bought Gracemate poppies from Truckfest a couple of weeks ago with lights and hats. Will feel like I'm in the real cab when driving. That does sound really cool, punters. That does sound really cool. I don't know what else I should get, really, for my cab. Like, for my setup. I've got pretty much everything in terms of controls. I did see there was a tiny little thing with like 4 buttons on it for like the window control, but I thought that was a bit overkill because I've got window control on my side panel here. Maybe something like a radio would be cool. Love the dress today. Thank you, BPL. How are you doing? Get a CB? Honestly, yeah, we should get a CB radio. That would be fun. Wear a white vest with dried egg on it to make it more immersive, says Pappy Chuckle. What would you say the Xbox controller support is like for this? I couldn't tell you, Pappy Chuckle. I've never tried it, to be honest with you, so I don't really know. How's Kitty doing? He's good! Look, there he is. There he is. We are, of course, still using Farzel's Cab Cats, one of my favourite Euro Truck mods. I just think it's so cute and cool. Bertie Boy says, I saw a TikTok of the inside of a truck transformed into Euro Truck. I'll put it on the Discord. Thank you, Bertie Boys. I've seen similar stuff. That would be really cool. If I had the money, I would love to buy... If I had the space for it as well, I'd love to buy an actual truck cab and put my setup inside it, like so that I was actually sitting inside a real truck cab. Or a tractor one as well. I've seen people do similar stuff with tractors where they've like converted a real tractor cab into a sim setup. That would be really, really cool. The guy walks into his truck and plays the game. It looks awesome. Really good monitors. Yeah, monitors, that's definitely something that I could improve. I mean, it wouldn't change anything for you guys. Like, you wouldn't see anything different. But for my own experience, it would be nice to get an ultra-wide monitor. Because I think if the monitors were a bit more, you know, surrounded me a bit more, that would add to the immersion as well. Another thing that I'd love to get is VR. I think VR in this game would transform the experience too. The only thing is, I'm not sure how VR would work with all the controls here. Like, how am I going to see my actual real-life control panel when I've got a VR headset on, right? So I'm not sure how that would work. I hate VR, says Charlie. Oh, I love VR. I'm a big VR fan. I've never owned a VR headset, but I've played VR in my time, and I've even worked on a couple of prototype games in VR back when I was at uni. I love it. I think it's still an emerging technology. It's been emerging for about 10 years, but I still think it has a long way to go. But it does get better with time. It is continually improving. And I do like the look of Steam's new one. Steam have announced that they're doing a new VR headset. Which I'm definitely intrigued by. I'm going to wait and see the price tag before I commit to getting one, but it would be really cool. And also the Steam machine looks really good as well. I don't think I'm going to get one, because I'm fine with my PC and I really like the PC that I've got. But my brother is... My brother's still got a PS4, and he's really wanting to upgrade to the latest generation. And I said to him the other day, like, Steam are doing a new sort of hybrid console/PC. Maybe, you know, wait till they announce the price of that, and it could be something that would work well for you. I can definitely see a lot of people getting a lot of use out of it. I don't think it's going to be for me personally, but it looks very good. I'm surprised VR hasn't blown up. I love it on the PlayStation, just not enough games. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think the reason VR still hasn't really taken off and it still hasn't become super mainstream is because there still aren't many games for it, you know? Like, it's still relatively obscure. It's way more mainstream than it used to be, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still not that widespread. And I think that's part of the reason, is that there aren't too many games. The thing is, a lot of VR games are just gimmicky games. You know, it's like those, you know, menial job simulator game. I'm not, you know, Euro Truck notwithstanding. You know the kind of games that I mean, like, oh, supermarket shelf stocker simulator, or window cleaner simulator. Like, there's so many of those kind of games in VR. There's very few like full-size serious games in VR. And when Half-Life Alyx came out a couple of years back, I really thought that was going to be a turning point, because that was like one of the first ever games to be like a serious big VR title. But then nothing else really happened. And like, honestly, when Half-Life Alyx came out, I thought, like, this is going to be an entirely new era in VR games. But it just didn't really happen. It still hasn't really happened. VR still hasn't really become the big thing that it could be, you know? And like I say, I do think it could be big, but it's still not quite there. Pappy Jewel says Steam Machine only has 8 gig VRAM, but definitely an upgrade from PS4. Yeah, definitely. I think from what I've seen of it, to me, the Steam Machine seems like it seems like something that you'd get if you were a console player who wanted to gradually move over to PC. Rather than jumping in at the deep end and buying a PC, it feels like a good stepping stone. Like, if you're a console player and you want to move over to PC, the Steam Machine's a good place to start. That's what it seems like to me from what I've seen of it so far, you know. But I think if you've already got a powerful enough PC, it's not really worth the upgrade. It's kind of... Like I said earlier, it's kind of a hybrid between a console and a PC. It's kind of filling that gap, you know, and hopefully it fills it well. Like I say, I'm sure there is going to be a market for it. It doesn't look like it's going to be something for me personally, but definitely I can see a lot of people, you know, it could be perfect for them. Dinner's ready, says Charlie. No worries, Charlie. Thank you for joining. I don't think I'll be here when you get back, because we are going to be finishing up soon, but thank you very much for joining today. Have you seen the movie Ready Player One, says Bertie Boys? I have, Bertie Boys, yes, I have seen that movie. Okay, here we are. I see a crane with the number 3 on it. And I see the loading area. Okay, this is going to be a tough one. I meant your dinner? Oh, my dinner's... I don't even know what I'm having for dinner, to be honest. Oh, woo, sorry about that. I haven't done shopping yet. So, we have almost nothing in. We got chips, and we got burgers. So, I guess it's probably going to be chips and burgers for tea. we got pasta. We've always got plenty of pasta, so I could just whip something up with that. But we got no cheese, and pasta without cheese is just... why bother? It's like Euro Truck without a steering wheel. It's like Euro Truck with a keyboard and mouse. When I have pasta, it's got to have a mountain of cheese on top of it. I hope VR gets like that one day, especially with the touch suit. I definitely think VR has got a lot of potential in it still. It would be really cool. I've seen, like, you know, I've seen people with like treadmills set up and stuff like that. You know, like those multi-directional treadmills where you can like walk in any direction, but you, like, in real life, you still stay in the same spot. That is so cool. Like, obviously, it's incredibly unaffordable for most people at this point in time, but can you imagine playing a game like that in, like, 10 years' time? You know, you play a first-person shooter, for example, and you're actually running around, like, you're physically moving around, but you're still staying in one spot in real life. That is just, like, next level immersion. And I really feel like that is going to become more accessible. And it might take a while, but eventually VR will be at that stage where everyone can afford this, you know, like, total immersion setup, you know? Anyway, one last thing I want to do before we finish up. I want to try and find the mine here in Kiruna. I'm guessing this is it. I want to take a quick look. Have a look at Free Aim VR shoes, says Pappy Chuckle. I will make a note of that, Pappy Chuckle. I'll check that out. Punter says pasta without cheese is like pizza without the sauce. Exactly, Punters. Pasta without cheese is like pizza without cheese. You can't. You can't be done. You can't have it. I hope I get to that stage of my lifetime, says Bertie Boys. I really think it will. Like I say, that kind of technology is already available, but at the minute it's, like, very expensive and very experimental. But the fact is, a lot of that stuff already exists, at least as proof of concept devices, you know. I really don't think it's going to be long before that kind of VR starts to become more widely accessible. And I'm very excited for it. I would absolutely love that. Free Aim VR shoes basically allow you to walk on the spot and come with a mat in case you have a carpet. That sounds really cool, Pappy Chuckle. That's the kind of thing I was talking about. The one that I was thinking of was like a physical treadmill. And it's like got a plate on it that can slide in any direction. So it's like, well, you know how a treadmill works, but yeah, the idea of it being contained entirely within a pair of shoes, that's really interesting. I've seen that device too with a guy playing Skyrim. Exactly, Bertie Boys. And that, can you imagine that? Can you imagine playing Skyrim, but you're actually in Skyrim? Like, you're seeing the environment, you're walking around, physically walking around in the environment. Can you imagine that level of immersion? That's just so insane to me, and it's so exciting that eventually that kind of stuff is going to be widely accessible to pretty much everyone. Like, even budget-friendly versions will eventually exist. Oh god, that would be amazing. Doing the stairs up the mountain on Skyrim. Oh yeah, imagine. Could be good exercise as well. You definitely get your steps in. Like, can you imagine? Because the scale of Skyrim, like the scale of those sort of games, is very realistic as well. Like, if you have to walk 5 miles in Skyrim, you're walking 5 real miles on that treadmill. You know, that sounds, you know, it's good exercise. Okay, are we actually going underground? Okay. Free aim's easy to put away. Oh, easy to put away, but very early tech. Yeah, like I say, it's early tech at the minute, but I'm looking forward to the day that it does become affordable and accessible. Because at the minute, it's very early and it's very expensive. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about VR for a minute, because before I finish the stream, I want to visit the underground mine. at Kiruna, and I believe this is it. I think we are actually going underground, which I don't think we've ever done in Euro Truck before. I mean, apart from tunnels. Look at this. Oh, this is insane. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. As soon as I read this in the patch notes, I was like, I've got to go here. Oh, wow. Ooh. Oh, this is crazy. What actually is mined here? If anyone's familiar, what does the real life mine in Kiruna mine? Oh, this is crazy. Like, never seen anything like this in Euro Truck Simulator before. We are entirely underground right now. This is a completely underground facility. This is so cool. Look at this. Iron ore, says Pappy Chuckle. Thank you. Oh, this is so cool. Honestly, this is the coolest part of this DLC so far. There's nowhere else like this in the entire game. And it is something else. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Are there deliveries? Can we do deliveries down here? I'm assuming so. I'm assuming there's delivery points within the caves. The world's largest iron mine, according to Google. That is cool. God, look at these machines as well. I'm pretty sure we can actually deliver these machines. I remember seeing on the patch notes. We could actually end up delivering one of those in a future stream. Give the designers a raise, says Mahendra on YouTube. Honestly, the DLC was worth £15 just for this. This is the most unique thing I've ever seen in Euro Truck. It really is. Oh, got my hazards on. Wow. No photography allowed. Oh god. Better end the stream. I'm not supposed to be filming down here. Oh, there's an interesting looking machine. I'm assuming that all of these machines that I'm seeing down here are deliverable. Oh, look! There's a trailer there. Oh, okay. So that you can... There are definitely deliveries that you can do into the cave. Look at that. That is a deliverable trailer. If I didn't have this trailer attached right now, I could transport that one as a job. That's really cool. So there are actually jobs into the caves that we can take. This is incredible. This game's expanding well. It really is, Bertie Boys. And the thing is as well, there's so much other stuff in the works right now. They're working on an Iceland DLC. They're working on an Ireland DLC. They've got Project Coaches coming out in the new year. Oh, I'm so excited for all of them. There's so much really great stuff going on with this game at the minute. And I've enjoyed all the DLCs that they've made for this game, but the latest few are just on another level. Just absolutely incredible stuff. Okay, so this was Kiruna Iron Mine. What an incredible place. Very, very unique. I've never seen anything like it in Euro Truck before. We will definitely be coming here again. I'd love to do some deliveries down here. But for now, we're going to head back outside, find somewhere to pull over, and that's where we're going to end the stream. So thanks for joining me for this first look at the Nordic Horizons DLC. Very, very cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to look at the new Forest Machinery DLC. We'll probably explore that a little bit in the next live stream. But this was great. I really like what I've seen of this DLC so far. Very much looking forward to playing more of it. It's been very fun. Oh, I think there's a waypoint here as well. A viewpoint, sorry. Let's have one last viewpoint before we finish up then. I've just realised that I had my windscreen wipers on the entire time that we were driving around there. Whoops. Look at that. Gruvenfat. Okay. What a cool thing to add, though. One thing I really love, one thing I really love that SCS Software have been doing in the last few map expansions is adding in more unique delivery locations. Because back in the early days of the game, you know, every single delivery location was either a farm or a factory. And every farm looked exactly the same, and every factory looked exactly the same. But with the latest DLCs, they've really started to add in more variety. There's so many different designs, you know, there's mines, there's quarries, there's animal farms, there's crop farms, there's supermarkets, there's, you know, warehouses, there's factories, there's so much more variety in the delivery locations now, and I really love that. Like, every time you take a delivery, almost every time you take a delivery, you're going to an entirely new factory that is a completely different layout to the others in the map. And this is a prime example of that. Like, this is so unique. This is so unique. There's nothing else like this anywhere in the game. It's so cool. So I have really enjoyed what I've seen today, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of this. But that is where we are going to have to leave it for today. We'll definitely be back for the next ETS2 stream. Thank you, punters. Just stick around for a minute, and I will tell you when the next ETS2 stream is. It is going to be on the 9th of December. So not this Tuesday, but next. Not this Tuesday coming, the Tuesday after. That's going to be the next Euro Truck stream. Very much looking forward to it. But that is where we're going to end it for today. Let me just switch over to my big camera. Again, sorry if you're watching on Twitch and YouTube that I am sideways. And let me put the music back on as well. There we go. Pappy Chuckle says, do you use the same truck in this and just keep upgrading it? I do use the same truck, yeah. I haven't upgraded it for a long time because it's already, like, basically as good as it's going to get. But I do always drive the same truck. I call it the Trans truck, my Scania Streamline R730. It's an amazing truck. It really is great. I really love driving it. So yeah, I do use the same truck for the most part. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the new Nordic Horizons DLC with me. I love it. I love what I've seen so far. Excuse me. I love what I've seen so far. I'm very excited to play more of it. And I will be doing so in the next Euro Truck stream, which will be on the 9th of December. So please do come and join me for that. In terms of upcoming live streams, tomorrow is Farm Sim Friday. and obviously we'll be playing some more Saxlingham. And on Sunday, I'll be playing some more Oddworld Soulstorm. Then next week, we're going to be doing Minecraft Monday, Horror Wednesday, which will be more Soma, and Farm Sim Friday again. So, yeah. Like I say, join me tomorrow for Farming Sim, join me Sunday for Oddworld, and then join me next week for the streams that I'm going to be doing that week as well. Hope you enjoy your burgers and chips. Thank you, punters. I'll try. Although, again, no cheese, so a burger without cheese is like pasta without cheese, which is like pizza without cheese. The conclusion is, food without cheese is bad. I like cheese on everything. Everything that I eat must have cheese on it. I'm a big fan of cheese. My first word was cheese. That's a true fact about me. The first word that ever left these lips was cheese. There you go. Now you know. You've learned something about me today. Anyway, I'm going to finish the stream. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Like I say, join me tomorrow for Farming Sim. If you would like to support me financially, please do consider checking out the Patreon. Huge shout out to Kate, Jess, Riley, P, Charlie, Dan, Amy, Marika, and Aaron. Let me just hold the board up so you can actually read the names. And there we go. Thank you, everybody. If you want to get your name on this board, there's a link in my bio. It costs £1 a month. You get your name on the board, you get a shout out on stream, you get access to behind the scenes content, including early access videos, uncut footage, bloopers, all that kind of stuff. And like I say, it's only £1 a month, and you'll be supporting me in what I do here on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you are interested, please do consider checking it out. And thank you very, very much once again to my current Patreon supporters, Kate, Jess, Riley, P, Charlie, Dan, Amy, Marika, and Aaron. Thank you all very, very much. With that being said, that is all we've got time for today, so I will see you all tomorrow. All donations will go towards cheese, says Pappy. I can neither confirm nor deny the veracity of that statement. I will see you all tomorrow for Farming Sim. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and bye-bye. And bye-bye TikTok, bye-bye YouTube and Twitch as well. It's been very fun. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you tomorrow.